Six-year-old Natalie Garcia vanished from her adoptive home, but grief and suspicion hid in silence for years. In September of 2024, law enforcement unearthed her remains buried in a plastic bag under weeds in the family's backyard. Investigators say Natalie likely died in November of 2020, suffocated after being locked in a small box for punishment. Her adoptive mother, Christina Schroer, pleaded no contest to second-degree murder, child abuse, and related charges, and was sentenced to roughly 18 years in prison. Today, Natalie's adoptive father was in court, and everyone is questioning whether or not justice was served. Meanwhile, a college freshman named Trinity Poe is accused of murdering an 18-month-old boy in her dorm room. The little boy's name, J.D., and he was not her child, but was the son of her boyfriend, Jay Williams, who was out picking up a pizza when prosecutors say Trinity committed the crime. Tonight, we take a look at the testimony of the boyfriend, who the defense says is the one really responsible for the death of J.D. Who will the jury believe? But first, 22-year-old Rebecca Park was nearly full term in her pregnancy when she vanished on November 3rd after visiting family. Weeks later, searchers found her body in a remote Michigan forest. Prosecutors say her own mother and stepfather lured her into the woods, stabbed her, tortured her, then cut the unborn baby from her womb, killing both mother and child. The horror of the crime stunned the community. As the hunt continues for the baby's remains, a family's hopes have been replaced by grief and a demand for justice louder than ever. Tonight, the latest in this gruesome, shocking case.
I'm Vinnie Politano. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And I'm going to let you know at the top of the show, this is going to be a difficult hour. This is going to be a heavy hour because we are dealing with depravity tonight. Adults who are not doing what they are supposed to do, which is what I say at the end of this program every night, night after night. Hug the kids, take care of the kids, protect the children. That's our job as adults. That didn't happen. And these stories are incredibly tragic, but there is a sense that justice needs to be found here. Let's start on another note here. When you're a grandparent, grandchildren are the prize, okay? You have children, you raise children. You know, I know, it's not always easy. It's rewarding, but it is work. It is hard. You worry. You stay up late. You get up early. You run to practice with them. You're worried about their grades. You hope they're not being bullied. All of those things. And then they grow up and they become adults. And you're like, okay, that's good. Now what? The grandchildren. That's the prize for the grandparents, because you get to enjoy those children with a little bit less of the heavy lifting that you did as a parent. And your children then take care of that, right? That's the way it should be. They're the prize. At the end of all this, this is the prize for us. And when I say that, like, for grandparents, even George and Cindy Anthony, you can say what you want about them. Kaylee Marie was their prize. Their daughter, yes, she got pregnant. They never knew who the father was, all of that. Their daughter was a horrible person, but the prize was Kaylee Marie Anthony. They loved that girl. They loved her so much that Cindy wanted to raise her and wanted Casey just kind of out of the picture because she was not being a responsible parent. That's another story for another time. But the point of it is that grandparents, we love our grandchildren. Okay, let's talk about Rebecca Park. She was full term, getting ready to bring life into the world. An amazing time, an amazing moment for anyone. Whatever your situation is, like you're getting ready to give birth, the miracle of life, then you're going to have this bundle of joy. It's going to be work, I get it, but it's a bundle of joy. Like, these are some of the best memories you'll have. until you're a grandparent, right? Now let's talk about Courtney Bartholomew, her biological mother. She's accused of carving out her own grandchild out of her daughter's stomach. What? This story is beyond. Like someone, you're this close to being a grandma, and you're going to carve that baby out of your daughter's stomach? What is going on here? All right, let's get to some more facts here. Rebecca Park, what do we know about her? 38 weeks pregnant, last seen November 3rd. Her remains were discovered November 25th in the Manistee National Forest, but the baby that she was carrying was not located with her body. Courtney Bartholomew, who is she? That's Rebecca Park's biological mother, but Rebecca was apparently raised by a couple who adopted her and her siblings. Then you have Brady Bartholomew. Who's he? That's Courtney's husband, the stepfather, the biological father of Rebecca Park, the victim here. What are the charges against these two? First-degree murder, felony murder, torture, conspiracy to commit torture, assault of a pregnant individual, conspiracy to commit assault, unlawful imprisonment, removing a body without medical examiner permission. Now, prosecutors say that these two brought Rebecca to their home, forced her into another vehicle, took her into the woods where they stabbed her, forced her to lie on the ground while they cut that beautiful baby out. And investigators are saying, prosecutors are saying that both she and the baby died. But again, I don't believe they've found the baby yet. Now, there's two other people in all of this. Kimberly Parker, Rebecca's sister, also arrested, charged with tampering with evidence, lying to a peace officer, and false report of a felony. And you've got another man, Richard Fleur. Who's he? This is Rebecca Park's fiance. He was arrested but charged with 2 counts of delivering methamphetamine. Okay, so not charged for what happened to his fiancée. Let's get some more details here. I'm bringing in anchor and reporter for 9 and 10 News in Cadillac, Michigan. Jodi Miesen is with us. Jodi, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. I know you guys have been all over this story, digging up all the details here. What do we know about the status of the baby? Has the baby's body ever been found? And if not, why do they believe that the baby is not alive?
Well, that's the question, and that's been captivating everybody here in the Cadillac area, is that baby has not been found yet. And they also don't know a motive for the crime as of yet. But what I've been from the preliminary, from what they said during court, it seems like during the arraignment yesterday, they were saying based on the severity of the injuries, they believe that the baby would have died from the attack to Becca Park and the injuries that she sustained. They don't believe that baby would be alive. So they're still trying to figure out where that baby is. And as of right now, we don't know. So they are still looking for that baby. I know that the Sheriff's Department has been out actively investigating this. One thing that I did want to clarify
Sure.
Is the biological mother. She has not been in Becca Park's life up until she was about 18. She was adopted by, you had mentioned earlier, another family from the age of 1. And in fact, it was not only Becca, but it was Kimberly and an older brother that were adopted all at the same time. And I did speak to the mom that adopted them, and she says that she tried her best to keep them separate from this family because they were dangerous. And when Becca turned 18, she took it upon herself to go out and seek this family, and it's been a back and forth ever since.
That's such a tragic part of this story, Jodi. You know, you have this adoptive family, raises them, but like everyone, I guess not everyone, but most people who get adopted, you always see these stories on television. Oh, I just want to reunite with my biological family, and I guess that happened here, and it's been incredibly tragic and fatal at this point. When we talk about motive, you said they haven't mentioned a motive. So nothing in court about why. Was there bad blood? Was there any sort of strange family dynamics going on?
It's really hard to determine. I've talked to a lot of the people in this case. I've talked to Richard, I've talked to Kimberly, and I've talked to Courtney. The only one I haven't talked to is Bradley. And they've all the stories were kind of very different. Like I remember, after I talked to Richard and I was talking to Kimberly and Courtney, I felt like the stories just didn't coincide. There was just a lot of just weirdness surrounding it. Just different things from the descriptions that they were wearing, of the clothing, the time of night that they left, and just questions like somebody pulls up into your driveway and takes your biological daughter, and you've never seen this car before, and that's kind of weird, right? Usually, you know who your daughter's friends are, or if they've been in contact recently. She had said that they had talked a lot in recent days. In fact, she was over there. Becca was over there because they were planning a baby shower that was supposed to happen the following weekend, according to Courtney. But it's really hard because there's been a lot of misinformation given out, some of it from Courtney herself. And so I think that's where investigators really had to really dig deep and find out what is the truth here, because there has been a lot of discrepancies with the stories.
Right, because this all began as a missing persons, right? And there's the investigation, and it wasn't until they found the body, and now the arrests have taken place. Jodi, I wanted to play something for you that we found on Courtney's Facebook page. It was this recording. An unknown speaker is talking and providing, it seems like, some sort of an alibi for Courtney. Let's take a listen to it.
She gave me my meds at about 8:40. I don't remember a lot, as I just said, but she was there when I went to bed, and she was also there when I woke up the next day. I know that she never goes out and about when I'm sleeping, just because she doesn't like to drive at night.
Do we know any more of the details or background on who is speaking in this alleged alibi?
I know there is, Courtney does have a son that lives at the house. Just based off of, what I heard, if it was somebody that was living at the home, I would assume maybe perhaps that it was him, but, I can't confirm that. And to me, that just makes sense.
Sure. And finally, Jodi, how about the community there? I did see some images from inside the courtroom. Can you describe the impact of this story and this case at this point on this community?
It was emotional in court yesterday when all the details came out. I mean, we've been wanting to know for, close to a month now what happened. And that was the first time that the sheriff's department has really opened up about some of the details of the case. And there was a lot of crying in the courtroom. Obviously, the details were horrific. The prosecutor said that it was evil personified, because of just what they're accused of doing. So, and I think, to be fair, I think the sheriff's department, because it was a case that drew a lot of attention here in the area. I mean, we had people searching from over an hour away. People all over the state even have been invested in this story. I'm up here in northern Michigan, but I've been contacted by, family members from downstate that even wanted to know what was going on because they knew I was reporting on it. But the sheriff's department, they've been really tight-lipped, and I think they are just trying to gather that evidence, and they want to make sure that whoever did this, faces the consequences, and there's no chance of them getting out of this. So I think that's why they're being so tight-lipped. But it really kind of created the situation here where people wanted more information. They were really wanting to know what was happening, and there wasn't a lot of information. There was a lot of misinformation that was going on. And so I think, there was just this sense of sadness when we all found out what had happened and that it was at the hands of somebody that supposedly loved her. I got to tell you, as a reporter, I went to that Courtney's house and I talked to her, and, to have somebody tell you a week after, of course, she hasn't been convicted, but a week after she's accused of killing her daughter, and the way that she was talking to me, and, she was just giving other things like maybe she ran away, maybe she's trying to get away from Richard. She has two older kids that are placed with her adopted mom, that her adopted mom is taking care of right now. And they were saying, well, maybe she didn't want to get her third child taken from her. So it just felt like she had a lot of reasons for why she might have left. She said that she was concerned, but it was just a very weird kind of interaction.
Jodi Miesen, 9 and 10 News in Cadillac, Michigan. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll speak more as this case progresses. We appreciate it. All right, let's bring in our think tank. Joining me live in studio tonight, criminal defense attorney Eklund Mercy, along with criminal defense attorney, law professor Meg Strickler, and the man behind the glasses, criminal defense attorney Josh Schiffer. Wow. What's going on here?
Meth. One word, meth.
But
It fried their brains, made them not think right, and then do some really crazy things, mixed with mental illness, and then maybe money.
Where meth is involved, logic and empathy is not. And that's the real issue. Once meth is involved, nothing makes sense. And things being, children being cut out of places, people dying, it happens when meth is involved. And that's just what it is.
But but the one thing I will say about that, though, is that it's not just like they're doing it in some place. Like there's like they're taking her, driving her out to the woods. Like this is an involved plot.
It makes me actually hope that this infant has been trafficked away, and I'm hoping that the baby has survived and has been sold to either a meth head or some crazy trafficker, because then at least the baby's alive. And I have no clue what drives someone to cut a pregnant woman's stomach open and remove a baby. The moment you get there, we've left reality and reasonableness and are solely existing in mental health and drug-addled insanity. And the craziness, that screams meth. Mm-hmm. Meth makes you do things that are otherwise just illogically horrifying.
It fries your brain, literally. And I'm not trying to be a drug ad here. It just, we all three have had clients. We've seen it. Yep.
So the other part of this story that I think is so tragic that we learned from Jodi was this, reuniting with your biological family. Like I am hooked on those videos. I'm in the algorithm and I watch them over and over, these happy reunions, the tears, the joy, and then the melding of the families and we're catching up. This is bad.
But it's unfortunate it happens often. You have a lot of children who have these, souped up, hyped up Disney type ideas of what their family is supposed to be. And once and especially with the growing of 23andMe and things of that nature, that has been putting people together in situations that they shouldn't be in. But there's nothing that you can tell a child that will prevent them from wanting.
Right. Mm-hmm. You can understand it. You feel so bad for her. All right, Think Tank is staying with us. When we come back, we've got the story, big trial here on Court TV out of Georgia, a beauty queen charged with the murder of her boyfriend's child in the dormitory. Plus, coming up next hour.
Tonight on Vinnie Politano Investigates, a young woman's life ends in a Santa Fe home. A sword soaked in blood beside her. Police say her boyfriend and friend orchestrated the deadly attack, fueled by jealousy and obsession. Was this a crime of manipulation or pure calculated evil? Tonight, we investigate.